everyone. I'm Thomas, and if you know me, I like scary movies. And today we're going to be telling the story of Boys from County Hell 2021. Trigger warnings include blood, death, violence, and body horror. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also comment if you've seen the movie. I'll be reviewing. Okay. And they'll be reacting. The opening scene begins with an elder couple sitting at home discussing whether they should go out until they both start to profusely bleed, the blood flowing towards the door, and they scream in horror. That's not a good sign. Oh.
Elliot? I think I have it.
Oh my god.
It must be. I don't know.
That is scary. I mean, not like scary, but like scary. Now, 2 months earlier, in 6 Mile Hill, Ireland, at the Stoker pub, Eugene and William offer to show 2 Canadian travelers around the area.
You gonna tell us to stay off the moors?
I have half a mind to get some kind of device just so I can like Google what a lot of these words are, because I don't know what a moors is. Like, not even context clues are helping me, but that's not going to stop me from enjoying this. Claiming that Bram Stoker was Irish and got his inspiration here. The land was supposedly owned by Abertac, a vampire similar to Dracula. Even though the locals don't like the word Dracula, they do profit off the popularity. They lead the travelers to a cairn. Wait, is a cairn that structure of stones? I'll Google it later. I should write it down. Being the supposed grave of a vampire that a chieftain stabbed in the heart. The legend goes that if you're too close, you spontaneously start to bleed. They also claim the legend inspired the story of Dracula. They pressure one of the tourists to get close to the grave, but then scare them, saying they have nothing better to do.
Some things are older than science, older than God. The earth has its own secrets.
Jesus, Christian.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
There was some roaring you were
Eugene lives away from his father, Francie, not wanting to sell his mother's place, claiming it to be a historical site since finding a skull. Yeah, that's like call the police kind of discovery. His father offers him a job building the new bypass that will upset the locals and ruin William's family business. At the bar, Eugene enjoys the night with his friends, but William tells him that he plans to move to Australia, but doesn't want to tell Claire. Eugene offers to walk a drunk William home. They have a small fight, and William accidentally hits the cairn and bleeds a bit.
This again. Fucking time. Get drunk, man. You need to stay off those shots.
Why do men do that?
Jesus, man.
Sorry, man.
You should be.
Wait, was it just his hand?
Fucking stones are still sharp enough.
But then almost immediately is attacked and killed by a runaway bull, their horns digging into him. But yeah, that's a catalyst. That's what I call a catalyst. Never mind. Is that a cow? Were cows always this deadly? Eugene sees the blood move towards the grave. After William's funeral, Eugene and his cousin SP get kicked out of the bar when they are found out to be building the bypass. Eugene has found his resolve to finally leave for Australia, but needs the money, so he decides to take the job building the bypass. Construction starts, and Francie orders Eugene to destroy the cairn. After a heated talk with William's father, George, about his frustration of the bypass affecting his life, and talking about William's death, Eugene tears down the cairn.
Gabriel, let's tear it down.
Oh my god.
Not a chance, Cub.
What?
I'm not gonna be responsible.
Just have a good cry instead of getting
Where's
mad.
that cheeky old vampire?
But then again, we do need the story to progress. That's all.
I'm actually a bit disappointed some fucker didn't jump out and try and bite her necks.
At home, Claire tells Eugene that she knew about Australia, and they talk about Eugene's mother and her father's death. At the construction site at night, Charlie, one of the employees, hears a bump in the night. He goes outside to look but doesn't find anything. When he returns inside, we hear him attacked. Yeah. In the morning, the construction site isn't opened yet. While Francie has a meeting to go to, Eugene is in charge. They find that the cairn was rebuilt, but they can't find Charlie. At night, when Francie returns, Charlie reappears, but he seems ill and shaky. While Eugene is trying to drive Charlie home, Charlie attacks him, and Eugene crashes his car. The lights go out, and the group is attacked, but they think it's protesters.
Drive shafts, banjacks. That wee fucker tried to bite me.
Spooky. And they defend themselves against an unhinged Charlie. Wait, why would she not? Okay, going under the table, like, that was smart, but, like, then coming out of the other side of the table? Like, you know what's waiting for you. They accidentally stab him, but he is still able to move around, even when his heart falls out.
That bastard's just full drunk.
Oh, come on, like, what are we supposed to do about this?
So they decide to bury him by moving the cairn stones. As they're discussing possible explanations, such as the legend of Abertac being true, the blood of one of the victims flows towards the ruins, and a foot appears. They run to George's home and they hide inside. They explain that their co-workers are dead. They call the police, claiming it's a creepy person seen around. As they're about to drive into town, where they think the vampire is headed, Eugene stops. He finds Charlie's drink in George's car. Eugene goes back inside to find dead animals, and George becomes defensive, saying they could leave or learn the truth. George reveals that William is locked in their good room, but he's ravaged. George explains that while preparing their son for burial, William woke up hungry.
Jesus, must have been some shock.
But this isn't like Dracula. Instead of a bite changing William, it was a piece of the stone from the grave that turned William. To keep his home and to keep William, George decided to stop construction by attacking and infecting Charlie. After a heartfelt cry session, George asks them to help. They create a direct route for William to be decapitated, and Eugene volunteers to be the bait. But right before they can behead William, his mother shoots George and offers him comfort.
Just trust me.
WTF? Oh my god.
Come to me, Pat.
crazy? But William kills her and his father. The rest try to run away, but then hide inside the house. They do eventually trap William in a coffin and bury him under rocks, but SP gets fatally injured. Meanwhile, as the vampire walks into town, people start to spontaneously bleed to the point of unconsciousness.
Stitches just popped. You're proper stoned. Ryan. Ryan, get up. Ryan.
So this guy's like a blood
Ryan,
magnet?
get up.
That's a cool mechanic for vampires. Bathroom scenes in horror movies never turn out good. Ugh. But how would it go from in the toilet to the guy? The Dracula guy. The non-Dracula guy. Like, would it go through the tubes? Or would it, like, go, like, out of the toilet and then to the guy? Including the couple from the opening scene. The group heads into town. They find many bodies on their way. They stop to check on Claire's family, and she tries to get them as far away from the town as she can, because you begin to bleed when you're close to the vampire. They head to Eugene's mother's home, because they suspect it to be where Abertak's lair was on account of the bones. When they arrive, they start to bleed and prepare to battle. But Francie knocks out Eugene in order to try and save him. Francie beheads the vampire. Yeah. Yes.
Thanks, bit of fuck.
Slay, queen. Buffy the vampire. Slay
Pick up.
them.
Pick up.
Slay him. Thinking he's won, he wakes Eugene, but then they're attacked. They escape and hide in the shed, but Francie falls and breaks his leg. They hide until sunrise, but unlike story vampires, it doesn't do anything. They are trapped under the shed with Abertak, and in a moment of desperation, decide to tear off the father's leg and stab the vampire with a bone. While Abertak is in pain, Eugene buries him in the ground, and soon the people of the town awake. 3 months later, Claire leaves to travel abroad, and Eugene returns home from the bar. He and his father are rebuilding the mother's home, and Eugene has built a cairn under the shed. The end. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very professionally made. The pieces of comedy really complemented the movie. And it's a very good watch that I recommend onto you. I would give this movie 4.1 out of 5. I think my favorite scene would be the opening scene. Seeing an old cute couple basically die very slowly, I thought was very emotional and just a good start for the movie. My favorite scene would have to be when they're talking about Charlie and like he was like climbing the pole while it was in him. That was funny. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment if you've already seen the movie, if you have like a favorite scene or an aspect of the movie that you really enjoyed. And thank you for watching. Bye, scaredy cat.